Ulonga tabati yada to ye ko madaifa ino to ye ko jeun lo fi bipa Ọba tala ọba takuntakun Ṣàngó Èṣù Ògún Ọya Ọ̀ṣun kí ni ṣẹ̀ṣe tán ṣe nílé yìí o ó jẹ́ lọ jára.
Alafia, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bemi, and today we have a very special guest on. We have on Mother Cynthia Moor. How you doing today, Ma? Listen, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to join us because I feel like you have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom that, we are thirsty for, and I'm looking forward to, this conversation to kind of quench that thirst for some of the listeners and myself as well.
Well, I don't want to drown you, but we will get a drink, okay?
I know that's right. That's what's up. So let me ask you this, because I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. I know there's a lot of confusion, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, my very first question is, what exactly is a Moor, or who are the Moors?
Yeah, well, I like the last bit of that, is who are the Moors, because a lot of people always say, I want to be a Moor. I'm like, you are a Moor. What do you mean by that? So they don't really understand. So the question is very important. And basically, the Moor is a nationality name of a particular people that are called themselves currently Black. And again, we can go into the history of where it started. It started, what they call the, it's the Northern Africa, really. That's where the empire started, but it extended itself all the way over here. Okay, so again, Moorish Empire versus the Moorish Kingdom. There are two different things. The Moorish Empire was first, okay, and the Moorish Kingdom started, I think, in 1957 over there, or something like that. So they're two same people, but two different entities, so to speak. Gotcha. Okay, the people over here that are now currently calling themselves Moors or Moorish Americans started in 1928 with Noble Drew Ali, who brought back the nationality of our culture, our people, and started what we called Islamism. Okay. And so a lot of people say it's Islam. Okay, we go Islam. Hey, Islam, but it's Islamism. That is the old time religion. Okay. And not to bark off into that bit, but that's how we currently are to get our nationality back. Okay. People want to know, what is nationality? Okay. Nationality is actually your birthrights. Okay. Most people never even heard of that. So, but if you have not a nationality, you are called stateless. Okay. And we don't know that. We say, well, yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen, but that even goes deeper of what that actually means. And then that would go back into us being called slaves and all of that. Okay. And I'm not trying to be vague, y'all, but let me tell you something. Y'all see these books behind me, and there's books all in this house. There's thousands of books. You just can't have someone tell you something about yourself and you take it at face value. You must read. You must research. Okay. And as I'm talking to you today, I know your head might be blowing up, but that's why I don't like doing it this way. But because I wanted to get on here and just say, hey, to my son here, I'm going to share with you maybe 10 books that you can get on your own to start to research and learn. But the very first ones I would recommend you get is a Black's Law Dictionary, a standard dictionary. I have it. Let me see. Etymology Dictionary. Black's Law. I got Black's Law 3rd, 4th, 5th. The 3rd, if the earliest you can get, is the best one to get, because they start changing things after that.
Got you.
Okay. And then I have the big Black's Law Dictionary down there that I can get if y'all really want me to look up a word or anything.
I know that's right.
Nationality, birthrights, and jurisprudence is what you must understand before you dive into really, figuring out how to manage yourself in this national movement. Because there's a lot of people go to temples, which are fine, but that's not the only way you can associate with being who you are. Okay, a lot of people tell you different. Okay, whatever you want to believe, you don't have to. Read what Noble Drew Ali said. Okay, when he brought us back our nationality and birthrights. This book here probably is not. It's called the Exhuming of a Nation by Noble Drew Ali. You probably may not be able to even get this book now, but I don't know. Yeah, but you can see how thick it is, and you see I tapped it all up. This is a good start foundation for you to learn about the Moors. Okay, and anybody say you want to be a Moor, you're already a Moor. Stop that. Okay, anybody want to sell you paperwork to be a Moor? Stop that. Okay, there's so many little things and people do that really, if you really drill down into it, it doesn't work. And they say, yes, it does. Okay, show me. I'm the show me state. Okay, if I tell you to do something, then you should have the sense enough to know that I've already walked that walk. I should be able to prove to you what I just said to you. Right?
Receipts.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So, but again, if you're one of those that don't, hey, God bless you or bless you. We don't want to bless anybody around here. Okay. So
I know that's right.
Another book that I just absolutely love. Hebrews to Negroes. See, and then another thing, people are not crayons, people. Why you call them black? And oh my God, our people drive me crazy because they are so, and it started in the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were recording when I told you about the 60s, but I'm gonna tell you now. Please read everything about the 60s. Read everything about the Black Panthers and understand the truth. Okay. Gotcha. And if you don't do that, all you're going to do is still believe all this rigmarole that's going around about that. It is not true.
And it's a lot of it too.
Yes. And I have it all down here, but we ain't got time for that today. But if anything, I really want to know. This is the book I want y'all to read. As it relates to the 60s, as it relates to us, as it relates to us as the so-called demos and demos. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. This book they wouldn't even let me check this book out when I was wanting to check it out back in the day.
Wow.
It's about us and other people.
I was saying, what is that? What is the context of that book, Wilmington's Lie?
It is the murderous coup of 1898 and the rise of white supremacy. In other words, who were we always? See, I don't want to I told you I didn't want to get political, but you know what I'm talking about. Who were we first? And then all of a sudden we this. Okay. And our people act like they done lost every brain cell in their body that they can't read. Most of them haven't because they don't know the true history.
Right.
But see, I grew up in the true history.
Right.
And
because
I know
you're a
I
third generation, right? You were the third generation of your family line.
North Carolina, Newton, Knoxville, Raleigh. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have proof of that too.
Got you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm registered in North Carolina and Knoxville and Chicago.
Wow. So let me ask you this: what is the connection to Moorish culture and Morocco? Because I know the knowledge that I do have, which I'm not going to say I'm a baby when it comes to Moorish, culture and learning about the Moorish, everything about Moorish.
Well, Morocco was where the empire started, and the kingdom is.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, when the empire existed, it was a big swatch of territory, all the way east coast, west. It was. You can do that research, and you'll see what I'm saying. All the way over here. That's why this was the Moroccan Empire, and that's what this is. It's the flag of that.
Right.
Okay.
The star.
Yeah. And everybody knows what that is, but they don't want to admit it. You know how it is. I mean, we're still prisoners of war.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's the truth of the matter. You may be free, walking around without chains, but you're trying to claim what you are. And then you will see what I'm saying. Why? Because you're living in the system. You know, you're living with their birth certificates, their driver's license. And then when you hear about what you don't have to do, then you go out and you try to do the wrong things to get yourself out, but you haven't learned how to live in private, and you haven't learned how to live in commerce. Or you listen to somebody that tells you to go do this and go do that, but they can't show you that they did it, and you do it, and you end up in jail or some kind of, you know, mess. See?
And that's, I love that you went into that, because that was definitely some of the questions I was going to ask, because I do know that there's a difference between private and, you know, I do know that there's a difference between what was it, commerce, right?
Commerce, yeah. Right. And what did Noble Drew Ali said? Noble Drew Ali told you very specifically, you know, all you have to do is proclaim your nationality. You don't have to do anything else. He said, if you don't do anything else, do that. And leave all old business where it's at. You can't do nothing with what they created. You know, people try to authenticate this and authenticate that. What does that mean? What do you have to do to get something authenticated? You are still messing with them, are you not?
Right.
And I don't care what they perceive that they got. I'm not here to argue with that. If you did it, good. But how come you can't tell your people how to do it?
I should.
If I can have all the things that I'm supposed to have with my birthrights, with my name, with me doing supposedly the right thing, how come I can't teach you how to do that so that you can have it? But I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, Andre, hey, I got this and I got that because I'm this and I'm that. And then you're wanting to do this or that, but I don't tell you and show you how to do it. And I don't prove to you that I can actually do it. And then I say, hey, man, go on and give me, you know, this and that. And I'll take care of that for you.
Right.
And I give you a piece of paper with some words on it that you really don't understand. Because why? Because your mind and your spirit told you that you wanted something quick.
I see. Microwave mentality.
And then you get discouraged. Why? Because you get in trouble because you didn't do your due diligence. You just followed the leader or the sheep took you over the edge. See, when you find me in a ditch, I put myself in the ditch. You ain't got to worry about nobody putting me in the ditch. Because I'm not going to just follow what someone says. I'm going to do my research.
Right. Now, and there's a lot of people who I've crossed paths with who claim to be Moors, who proclamate themselves as Moors, et cetera, et cetera. And you know, I see it and I hear it, but I'm under the same thought process as you. Like I don't speak on things I don't know, and I don't claim to act like I know or do things that I don't know or don't do. So therefore, I like to have receipts for everything that I do. And with that, I know that there are, I know of, because of, you know, word of mouth, that there are people who claim that they're Moors or proclaim to be Moors, that there's a certain set of rules or different guidelines or different ways that they live by. So with that, kind of like the not having to have a license plate, not having to
that's crazy.
Like all that stuff. So can you kind of speak to some of that for
yes, let me please speak to some of that. We didn't even talk about answering that question, but here, yes, the truth. It is true. We used to be respected. But what happened? I think you already know. Somebody decided that they were going to go squat in homes. Somebody decided that they were going to bully and misuse the privilege. So it was actually taken away. But yes, back in the day, you could try because you're traveling, you know. So we were respected. But you get a few people who do the wrong things and think that they are above everybody else without full authority. That they're not going to give it up, you know. So yeah, it's true. And if everyone would buy, I wish I was downstairs, I would show you what they should purchase so that they would know if in fact they could do that or not. And it's, if you live in a state, just get your state driver's manual, you know, and rules and regulations of the road or whatever for your state. And then you can go in there and you can see. I've helped a few people because, you know, there's no such thing as let me shut up. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Oh boy. But anyway, guys, just research on your own and, stay in touch because we have a lot of information here.
Right. So now, is there any truth to once you really, really learn who and what you are and you have everything documented and you're actually moving in accordance to what true, quote unquote, being a Moor is, or I should say, I would say exhibiting your Moorish sovereignty. So like the word sovereignty, can you kind of speak to why that's a big deal in regards to someone who has claimed?
Okay, this is a deep subject matter too, because again, you can look up the word, what it means, but then you can also go and in relationship to, I have to say everybody here in America having what they call sovereignty. And also it's also utilized overseas with the so-called royals. Okay. They're sovereign citizens or whatever.
Right.
For me, I'm sovereign. Okay. Sovereign simply means to me, and I put it in this book. Sovereign means to me that I am a free spirit. Okay. My soul is sovereign. That's why I have birth rights. Okay. So I don't get into that mess that some of these groups be getting into, whether they're melanated or modern European groups. Modern Europeans groups has used that word way more than what we have.
Gotcha.
Okay, because they have sovereign citizens, and then everybody try to loop us into that. No, I'm sovereign in and of myself. Okay,
Gotcha.
and but the Southern Law Center, they always talking about, oh, Moors, they're sovereign citizens. They don't believe in law. They don't. No, we study law. We are the lawgivers. Hello, you feel me? So, what are they talking about? They're talking propaganda.
Right.
You see, and then people get half truths, and then they move on that. What we have to do is move in a group. You move as by yourself or a little. What they gonna do? They gonna spank you, okay? Because they don't want to give up power. What did Noble Drew Ali say? He says, "I'm gonna leave the modern European here long enough for you to learn how to run government, and we can't even vote right because you ain't voting right anyway." I talked about that in here. I ain't gonna go ahead on here politically, but you be running out there to do what? Right.
Yeah, it's always strength in numbers for sure, and that's no matter what the circumstances and situations are, in terms of how we are, or I should say, where we are in this space and times. Especially us as people of melanated descent. I think this is a very interesting time when you look at what's going on. The whole political.
Oh yeah, this is the time. This is the time. I'm gonna say it out loud. This is the time. If we miss this opportunity, people, we are done. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I really don't care. Okay, we are done. My grandmother taught me this when I was little. She said the blood in the street behind a horse's neck. She said they lived through the Depression. My grandfather was born in 1909. My grandmother in 1913. And they lived a long life, and they helped raise me. Okay, back then a village, you were raised by a village. Your mama's friends, your aunties, this, that. Yeah, you get in trouble, or your mama's friend saw you do something, she whoop your butt and take you home, tell your mom she whooped your butt.
I know that's right. We just talked about that a couple episodes ago too.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's different. It's different these days.
I'm old school. I mean, like I said, I'm in my 70s. Okay, I'm old school, so I know I've experienced like this whole thing, and I know I'm not done. And I just want to see it through. I just want to live one day after this stuff gets straight, because it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's ridiculous. And but what they did to us, okay, is mapped out in this book, and an Exhuming of a Nation. These books, this is a compilation of all of this. But it has the law. It has what you must do, how to do it. You got any questions? I did mine a long time ago just to make sure. My grandmother made sure. And then I did it with Noble Drew Ali in Chicago. So I have my numbers, and they are registered. And I can prove that. Yeah. And also, the Library of Congress is not going to lie. So if y'all just really wondering if somebody's telling the truth about Noble Drew Ali, just go to the Library of Congress, spend $100 and tell them to send you the numbers that he put in place for us. So to protection. Okay. Right. And I have that too. If anybody want to see that, I had that. I have certified copy of us being allowed to use our names from Philadelphia, from you know, the courthouse in Philadelphia. It's certified. Oh. Wow. Yeah. HR 75. Yeah. See? So people say, well, what are ills and bays and stuff? I said
that was going to be my next question. I'm glad you said that because I know there is a significance to it, because I see it. You know, I see it in the names, and I see it, you know, in the way people move. So
yeah, well, you are either ill, or if you're mostly, the ills are mostly executives, like such as myself, you know, and the bays are mostly government type people, you know, administrators and stuff like that. As a, you know, adjective to describe it, what it really means. Ali's are for special people. You can't just call yourself Ali, but you see people call themselves El Bey. If they read the instructions, they would see that you can't do that. You're not supposed to. Wow. You know, so it's a lot of stuff that people just really don't read for themselves. And it's right there. It's in the courthouses. It's in Library of Congress. Go and purchase it and get it for yourself. I have the Treaty of Peace and Friendship from the Library of Congress. Beautiful. I can't read Arabic too well, but it's all in Arabic, some of it, most of it. And then it's very nicely done. It's about like this. Has a, you know, red ribbon from the Library of Congress. You see, because when I first really started, when I was a teenager and in college and stuff, and really trying to find out this information, well, then that's where I went.
Right.
When I go to DC, I go to Library of Congress. You can go too. You get a library card.
Right.
I have a library card.
Wow.
You see?
So this is very, very, very informative, and I could go on for days asking questions, because so one of the things that like we spoke about previously is that this channel, primarily I would say the vast majority of the content is of the Ifa, Orisha, Isheshe, you know, content and information. However, I love the fact of bringing us together and being able to explore different, you know, realms of consciousness and realms of information. I know this is one that us as a culture and community, we all want more information on. So what would you say is a fair assessment of time that it would take someone from very beginning, a newborn baby, into Moorish, you know, history, culture, law, etc., like, and then to be someone who you would consider to be someone of an educated, you know, stature, whereas you feel like they've done the due diligence, they've done the research, and they do know how to apply everything that is of, you know, value in regards to Moorish law, Moorish, you know, sovereignty, Moorish beingness. How long do you think that takes, and what does the due diligence process look like for a person to go from A to Z in regards to being proficient with knowing who and what they are in regards to the Moorish culture and history?
Okay, let's start with the baby.
Okay.
First of all, if the baby is coming in and their parents are already knowledgeable and educated on the subject matter, well, then you can take that baby out of the equation, because it's going to grow up into that knowledge. Gotcha. Okay, now let's take an adult. Okay, someone that's just starting out, like some of your people that are listening that might want to, you know, what do I do? How do I know? And all this other kind of stuff. First of all, like I said, I would get something basic, like either if a Zoom in the Nation is not ready, then Black People Are Dead in Law, because it starts you on the foundation. You know, our people will perish for lack of knowledge. That's Hosea 4:6, something like that. And so each individual is going to be different, because you're going to have people along the way that's going to try to dissuade you. But I would say that if you give it a good, I started doing this, like I said, at an earlier age, but I also seen people start at, like, say 2010, because that's when I would go and help them go down and join a temple. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. A good, you know, really a good 10 years. 10 Why? Years. Because you have to study law for 3. You must. If you don't, forget about it, because the English language is a bastard language. It's spelling.
Yep.
There. See. And if you don't know And not only that, then when you get into the law situation, if a judge tell you to stand and you do this, what did you just do? You just put yourself in their jurisdiction, and nothing you say after that matters because you just stood your ass up. But you didn't know that. How is the judge and the benches set up? It's set up as a pyramid. Am I right? Prosecutor, the bench. Judge, and you hear your ass is, and if you come across that bench, see, but they don't know that because they've never studied law. If you don't know law, then anything else that you think you know, you're not going to understand.
Right.
You just won't. So Black's Law Dictionary, Unabridged Dictionary, anyone that you can get, because when you read, what you're supposed to have next to you, it's a tool. You have a dictionary.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have, let me show you. Oh, I forgot. I have an etymology course here that I do. That I teach.
That's what's up.
See, because people need to understand the origins of words.
Yes.
Like the word God. When did it come into existence, people?
Yes.
You know, and it's in the Bible because it was translated from Hebrew, but it came in the 1500s. And the same thing with the letter J, but that's another story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, so you have got to study law. 3-4 years. You are. People say I'm a lawyer. I'm a esquire. I'm this. I'm that. No, you're not, because you're a member of the Bar Association. They don't have licenses to do nothing for you. See, and you have to be able to represent yourself per se. See, you can't do anything without knowing law. So as much as I would like to fluff that up a little bit, that is the foundation. Law. Unfortunately, what are we judged by? Everything you can't do this, you can't do that because it's this, it's that, and most of them are not laws. Okay. See, what is your state? What type of state are you living in? You sanctuary state? What kind of state? People don't even know that.
Wow. So let me ask you this: when it comes to, let's just say, moving around, I know that there's a certain way that someone who is educated and someone who has the knowledge and understanding and overstanding of being a Moorish, culture, Moorish history, Moorish law, etc. I know that they don't consider themselves. Well, I've heard that they don't consider themselves as driving when they're on the road. Right. So can you kind of break down for us the difference between driving or traveling?
Yes. Because when you're traveling, you're in your own personal vehicle. It's not commerce and it's not commercial. And those are the only two differences. But because we don't know, we were given a driver's license permission to drive on the roads, when actuality we have every right to drive on, to travel on our road. See how they confuse you? They use wordsmiths. That's why we call it spelling, because they done spelled your butt to sleep.
Casting spells.
See, and it's going to become hard for you to communicate with people, just like me. When I talk, I have to remember that I have to say the right words so you'll understand it. So it becomes very hard. And like I wrote an op-ed for Philadelphia on TV when I was there on pronouns, because I told them oh man, I was so upset, but I'll send it to you. I won't send it.
I got you.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But anyway, it's about the language. Okay. And you must understand it. Like I said, if I told you to stand up in court, it means totally something different if I told you to stand up over here.
Wow.
And if you don't know that, see, I made them take me off of the what you call those jury roles that they used to bring you in and jury duty. And I didn't get any. They knew, because here's the deal. And if you don't, and that's another thing, when you start this process and you don't stand on what you know is to be the truth, and sit your ass down and stay on the porch. Do not come over here trying to do stuff, okay? Because you didn't study. And Noble Drew Ali said, you study, study, study. And when you studied, you study some more.
Yep.
You study some more because it's important, because you have to be able to articulate it within your soul.
Right.
Who you are. See? Yeah. So
and I think that's where a lot of people get lost, like in regards to like this whole process, because even with the traveling, if I'm not mistaken, when you're traveling, you don't have to produce any type of licenses, any of that type of stuff, correct? If
and they coming out with this real ID, which is not an ID. People need to look up these words. They're not a real, but you're gonna go right along with it, because why? Because you don't know how to live without it, and there's not enough of us to back that up yet. So you're living like this, you're 1 foot over here and 1 foot over here in private. You know, it's crazy. But if the people would come together, like Noble Drew Ali said to do, and quit having all these ego fucking trips, well, then we could get ahead. Excuse my French, but I'm an elder. I can say whatever I want to say.
No, that's right.
So that being said, is that I hope, my wish, my dream is that the younger generation coming behind us does not have to suffer because of our mistakes. Okay, that we couldn't get it together. You see? So it's a process. Right. There's some people can go through law in a week or two. I mean, they're geniuses. I don't know.
Right.
I'm talking about me. It took me 3.5 years, and I still go through it, because and if you don't know Hebrew, you don't know Spanish, or even Arabic, really, because Arabic and Spanish are very, very similar. Same words mostly.
Right.
You know, so and Noble Drew Ali told you to study Spanish for whatever reason, he said do that, so do it. You know, but you gotta learn a different language, because this language was created. There were no A-E-I-O-U's back in the day. They created that with that, and that's how we got spelling.
Yep.
Yeah. Commercial driving is different than traveling.
Gotcha.
And if you go to get that book I told everybody to get, far as the traffic stuff, you will see that in there. It's in there.
Which one was that? Because we got a lot of them. I've been writing them down.
That way you can put it in the you can put it, but it's for Texas. But everybody will have to get their own state. Okay. But they do have the definition in there.
Okay.
It's commercial, and it tells you very succinctly. But we're not commercially driving. We are traveling to work. We're traveling to the store. We don't have people riding in the back seat that they're paying us.
Right.
You see?
Right.
But that's the difference. If I wasn't clear before, but that's commerce, traveling, personal personal going. Right. And we paid for the roads. The roads are ours, but they charge us tolls.
Listen, that's been something that has been baffling me and racking my mind and infuriating me for a while. So you mean to tell me you taking money from me out of my paycheck and my everything that I receive as income, you taxing that, and that's supposed to be going for the budget to these roads. But then when I get on this road, you taxing me again to pay for.
Noble Drew Ali said they will tax us to death. It's in the book. He says they will tax us, and that's what they're doing. And the 16th Amendment was never ratified. I have the book right here, the proof, and I don't care what they say. And you can go to the IRS, Title 26. You say, why are you paying taxes? But why? Because you said you were a U.S. citizen and you didn't put in the proper paperwork to notify the IRS that you was who you said you was. Okay. Wow. See, because I have congressional letters in my possession that says exactly that.
Wow.
Okay. So again, if you don't read, you don't know, you do stupid shit, you get caught. It's just simple as that, because you're working within their system.
Right.
So
is there any significance to the use of a red pen and red ink in regards to any type of official or non-official documentation?
Well, yeah, red, blue, yeah, okay. Well, the red was what we signed with, according with our thumb, and the red ink, it signifies the soul, the blood. Okay. The blue ink, most people want you to sign contracts with, but you need to know how to sign. Okay. If you are doing a signature, you don't want to do that. You want to do an autograph. We can go into that later. Black ink is normally used for all government paperwork.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now here's the caveat to some of that. When we're sort of sliding into the law thing. Most of the time when people, they bring their little complaints or their little stuff to the clerk to record or whatever, they're bringing it on 8.5 by 11. That is not the proper size. Okay. It's 8 by 14. They will argue you down when you bring it into the clerk's office. But again, if you don't know something and they don't, you don't go in there like a bull in a china cabinet. You go in there and you educate them.
Yeah.
And you don't be in there like you this and that and the other thing. You just kindly educate them.
Right.
And guess what? They'll say, thank you. Stamp your stuff and go about your business.
Wow.
Noble Drew Ali said, you approach people with a soft tone. See, but we want to shake our head and duck and dive and, and like, I'm this and I'm that. Nobody give a shit what you are.
Right.
Be who you are. Yeah. So that being said, that's the difference between all the ink colors. Okay. And also the stamps. Now that's like, again, that's getting into the law a little bit too, but we don't have to pay for stamps. That's well known, but people don't know how to do the process properly either. You have you fill out all your paperwork, you say you're a resident, and then you check everything. Yeah, you're U.S. citizen. You go, yeah. And then you want to be a Moor. You can't do both. Like, yeah, because you're intermingling their system with you. You see? So, but again, how do we live? How do we live as a Moor? Like we're supposed to without having this or that?
Right.
It's because we don't have the leadership to go and tell these fools that time is up. Okay. And when we do have somebody, what do? They get paid, right? Jesse Jackson, all that. Do I need to name more?
Yeah, no, because we all know. So it's either you either fold, you either stand tall or you fall and fold. And it's like they either pay them off or they knock them off.
And so what does that do to people that are really, really wanting to get up, and find out who they are? It destroys them. It destroys their hope. It destroys their belief in anything. And so they just, well, this is not going to work. This was a lie too. You see? No, it's not a lie. And we have got to get together. The time is now. It's red alert. Red alert.
Absolutely.
Seriously, it's red alert, people. Come on, you youngins. Come on. It's red alert. So let's get together and do something.
Yeah, that's real. And it's I love the divine alignment and the timing of this, because we also have Professor Cabernet on here. He spoke about Moorish law and learning, Moorish law and Moorish history. But he also spoke, and I would like to get your opinion on this. This is something that what he said I've never heard of before, but to me it made sense. I don't know if it would to you, but for him, he spoke on us who are knowledgeable or who don't have the knowledge and education and the wisdom and history that you have in regards to Moorish culture and history. He said that it's definitely good for us to study, to get the Black Laws Dictionary and to study and learn as much as we can. And once we do get to the point where we feel like we're proficient to go into court, he said, I still would recommend that you still have an attorney with you, just for the sake of, I guess, kind of like an extra protection or extra muscle, because he said he didn't really go into depth, but he did say he wants us as, the students and mentees, people who are learning on this channel from the elders such as yourself and him. He said he advises us to learn Moorish law and to study Moorish law with Black Laws Dictionary, et cetera, et cetera. But when you go into court, make sure you have access to an attorney or an attorney with you. I guess he didn't elaborate on that part. So I'm asking for you, what do you think about that perspective?
Okay, I don't know. Well, for me, I know I don't have to, but if I had to, I mean, he would just, or he or she would just had to be, it couldn't be sitting next to me because that's representation.
Right.
They can mentor me. I have tons of lawyers and judges that I know that are, friends. So I get a lot of information also from them. And, or when I read something, I take it to them. I say, okay, this, is that the proper way of my thinking? Is that the correct way? But because I'm an avid reader and researcher, I study so hard and deep that I go deeper into it than I think most would, so I would say if that person is going to be there with them, if they're going to be pro se, they can't ask him any questions in the court.
Right. Gotcha.
So what would be the purpose of them really going? You know what I mean? Because if the judge see me turn around and say, hey, am I doing that right?
Right.
Excuse me.
Issue.
Yeah. But then too, you have to be brilliant and smart enough to know that judges cannot issue any comments and shit from the bench like they do, because they be adjudicating from the bench, and most people don't know that, and they sit up there mouthing with these people too. See, so it's a lot of
very slippery slope.
I'm not going to say that would not happen. I just don't see for myself or what I know how that would happen in the presence of the judge.
Gotcha.
And him or her being their lawyer or a lawyer, because he'll say, wait a minute, wait, you can't talk. You pro se, you can't talk back there. What you doing? What you saying?
Right.
You see, they're not going to allow that, because that would have to be representative, his or her representative.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's what I think. I don't know.
I got you.
I'll find out though.
Yeah, no problem.
My niece is a lawyer. I'll find out.
Right. I consider myself to be a nerd. I love to study. I love to learn. But I also, like we spoke about previously, I also will not speak on stuff that I don't definitively.
Yeah, I don't know.
For. So I won't, proclaim to act like I know something that I don't. But I know this. I want to know, are you familiar with, because I know I want to get into this topic with the conversation time we have left. Are you familiar with the case with Queen Mother Afeni Shakur, when she represented herself when she was in a member, she was in Black Panther. Afeni Shakur, when Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mother. She represented herself in a major case, and I want to say like in the 70s. And
I can't remember hers.
Yeah, she beat the state of New York, and I didn't know about that until I did a podcast on her, because I saw the Dear Mama documentary and it spoke about it. I'm like, I didn't know she represented herself in a major trial in New York. She defeated the state of New York representing herself, and it was a phenomenal story.
You can. All you got to do is know how to present your paperwork and put make sure when you send it in that you make sure it's the correct size, and make sure you make sure I always put security tabs on the back along with a stamp, because see, most judges say they didn't get your stuff. But see, if you put it on the back, they can't lie about it. See, so I do that. But yeah, you can like I said, a lot of people present themselves, but they go in with a bunch of foolishness, and it's not necessary. Yeah, but yeah, you can. I mean, who's to stop you? You're representing yourself. You're
right.
Somebody representing you, all they doing, they belong to the same group of people.
Right.
Just like these political parties, they're all the same. They all in bed together. It doesn't matter who's who, whatsoever. They're doing that to control us.
Yep.
See, that's all. How can you win with two of anything?
Yeah.
Either you're gonna win, or I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
How do we both win?
Right. Yeah, we see it all day, every day.
No matter who wins, because guess what? You win. Hey, you got the headache for this time. Yep. I win next time, no problem. But I'm still getting paid. You still getting paid. You still have your power, whatever it is, perception you have of yourself.
Right. See? Now, what is the significance of the Black Panther Party in regards to tying in with what we have learned today about Moorish history and Moorish culture, and knowing,
well, I think it ties into everything, because the Black Panther Party was about Black so-called people, okay, but also they were inclusive of the other people, modern Europeans, the Italians, whatever. These people behind the scenes did not like that. Whenever we get together, that still to this day, that's why divide and conquer. Come on. Sir. That's what this divine movement is. It's divide and conquer. You get somebody on here talking about anything about a Moor, you always got somebody with a comment. I always tell people, that's like I told you. I said, I don't do podcasts, but people get on here and they will be negative, or they say something stupid. You know what? Start your own podcast. Get your own people to think the way you think. Don't come on here dissing anything anyone has to say, because it's the opinion of that person. Have some decency and respect for your fellow brothers and sisters. We don't.
Right.
We don't. That's the problem. We don't love each other.
Yes. Yes.
We don't love each other.
Yes.
You know, we fake love each other
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
I'm done with that part. I'm done. Yeah.
It's a real thing. It really
that's why
is.
I be
It's
by
funny.
myself.
Yeah. Right. No, I'm very similar because I don't really want to be bothered. But I see that even with this channel. Of course, I know some people trolling just to troll, but I've had a lot of people when some of the videos I put up, they get a little traction and gets going to different realms of people, but they complain about they come in with the Jesus extremist speaking and all that. The Christian terrorists come knocking down the door, but if they really watch the channel, they'd see that we don't discriminate here, because I've had Christians on here, I've had people from the Nation of Islam on here, I've had E5 people and priests, Kemetic, you know. So it's like, for me, it's about adding value to the community as a whole. Like, I'm firmly what Malcolm taught. He said religion ain't helping us get out of under the foot of the oppressor, so we need to throw that in the closet for now and figure out nation building for us to get that part done, and we can go on and do whatever we got to do with religion after
all
we get
day
it.
long. I've been saying it since I was 3, all day long, but we won't do it because somebody wants to be the chief, and not the so-called Indian.
Right.
You know, they want to be the chief, and the chief of what? And who put you there?
Right.
You see, we don't have a true organization. No, you claimed yourself. You know.
Listen, I got to do this. I was going to wait and address this on another call, but I'm going to do it because I'm hoping who the message for, they get to see this episode. But I had a conversation this weekend where a big chief had to make sure that everyone, I guess, knew that they were a big chief. And I'm under the thought and the wavelength of, I'm not better than nobody else, and nobody else ain't better than me. And what I'm not going to do is allow someone to be King Kong and try to establish their crown or title or throne or whatever you want to call it, as if it's something that I have to acquiesce and fold to. I don't fold to anybody, because you're not the universal prime creator. If you're not the universal prime creator, you did not create me.
Not doing that.
Therefore, I don't give a piss about your titles. None of that, because I don't fall under that. So I just had to kind of get that off my chest, because I just didn't like the way. Right. And I told them that, like, you know, I get it, but that's not what I'm on. I'm on doing the work that I do, which is the divine color.
I didn't even pledge. My mom didn't speak to me for 4 years. I'm a leader total, okay? I am not stomping no yard. But you see, I speak every year at the Delta, right? Okay. So, but I don't, I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff. No. I'm here to learn, to teach, and to make this world a better place for the babies coming behind me. And that is it. Anything else is superficial and not necessary in my life. That's it. I don't conform to any of that. Got kicked out of church when I was 12. Hallelujah. Okay.
I know that's right.
Yeah, because see, my grandmother didn't raise me in church. My mom did, because she was bougie. You know, they lived in California, her and my dad, you know, they hang out with Tina Turner and them. I remember Tina Turner's house. Yeah. That was it. The one that they had on the movie was exactly like it.
Wow.
Yeah. We lived on Bromont, and they lived around like two blocks over. Yeah. Wow. So I've been around a long time.
That's what's up. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it, man. And I love having these conversations.
Yeah, and titles, you know, titles. I mean, I was in corporate America for 28 years, okay? In training and development and under the umbrella of HR. And trust me, I have seen everything.
I can imagine.
I have seen everything when it comes to human relationships and human interaction with people and others, you know, just everything that you can imagine that would go wrong and be horrible. These people. Yeah. So I don't hang with people.
No, but I get it, because I've seen it and I've experienced it. And that's where I'm very big and adamant in regards to, you know, equality, because I've been, you know, even as a child, I was bullied, you know, by, you know, family members or people in the community that were bigger, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even though I was a little guy, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go there, but if you come to me with that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you everything I got, you know. And then
Yeah,
that's what
we
it
were
is.
taught that when we were kids. These kids don't hit nobody. No, my mama said, if you
Man.
come home bleeding, somebody else better be bleeding.
I know that's right. Yeah, and it's like it just stuck with me. So I hate bullies, you know. And we're talking
Yeah.
about one of the biggest bullies on the block with this corporation that we are currently residing.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like
See?
that's why when you come at me with that stuff, like you got to miss me with that because I know I'm not better than nobody else, but I also know that nobody else is better than me. If you didn't create me, you're not better than me. You know what I mean? And
That's
I'm
right.
not better than you, and that's just
Nope.
how I see it. Because titles and all that stuff, that's cool for
It don't
you.
mean anything. That's just
Right.
what it is. It's just a title.
There you go.
And I don't
There
come
you
from
go.
here anyway. I come from Zircon.
I know that's right.
So, you know, I really don't care. I'm down here to do a job.
I know that's right. That's what's up. I love it. I love it. So can I ask you, are you familiar with the work of Dr. York, Dr. Malachi York?
Yes.
His work, to me, his work actually sparked my whole journey. So getting exposed to his work is how I literally became a child of metaphysics. And then also I felt like it really was the nucleus and spark to my whole entire spiritual journey of doing the work that I do, because it was so profound to me, the amount of wisdom that he conveyed through his literature and through his writings. And I know he was big on Noble Drew Ali. From a lot of the books that I read of his, he referenced Noble Drew Ali, you know, so that's why I was wondering, and of course, are you familiar with what they did to him and where he's at now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, got you.
Okay, here, let me tell you something. This is going to surprise you. I bought, when they put him up, I have his Bible down there, the L Bible down there. I have all of his work. Okay, I can share that with you later. I saved it for him. Wow. I purchased it. I have all of his stuff. I gave away one of his Bibles. I wish I would have kept it because that person passed on, and there's no way I can get it back. But I saved all of much of his work that I can. Wow. And some in that room in there. That's most of. I'll show you hundreds of pamphlets.
Wow.
His L Bible.
Wow, that's what's up. Wow.
Yeah, this is.
Wow. I wonder if that's the one. I have one. I wonder, because I got the PDF though. I got the PDF, but it's a very big book. I wonder if that's the same one I have.
It probably is, but this is
Malachi. The Holy Tablets. Yep. Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's it right there.
Can you see his name?
Yep. That's a lot of power in that thing. Yes, ma'am.
I told you I am a researcher. I am a author, writer, publisher. I do anything when it comes to our history. This in here will be reserved. Okay, for the future. Wow. When he gets out, then I will present him with his stuff. Wow. Okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I have a lot more of it. It's in the other room. But now you see, buddy. I know. Yeah. Yeah. What about Bobby Hemmitt? You know about Bobby Hemmitt?
I do.
Oh, Bobby Hemmitt for the spiritual side. Me and Bobby like this. He's my brother. I gotta go. Linda won't let me talk to him. I don't even know if he's still alive, but I do still have his phone number.
Wow. That's what's up.
And I have all of his DVDs. All of them.
I'm about to get it. I'm about to get on it because I know of his work for sure, and I've heard a lot about him, and I've seen some of his clips online, but I haven't did a deep dive in his work like I have with Dr. York.
But Malachi York, they wanted him out of here because he was very proficient in language, in the truth, and just like they do everybody else. They will. It's just one of you. It's the ego again. Yeah. We're so inundated with the evil part that came down here to conquer us until it's pathetic. You know, some of us are just not human. I mean, I don't want to be human anyway because it means monster. But I'm just talking for the regular people that don't know that yet. But that's what you are. Humankind or mankind. That's deep. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother conversation. Look, that one we'll have to make private for the inside community.
Oh yeah. Please.
Go all the way, because I don't need the YouTube police trying to come shut us down, as they will try.
They will. They be like, boom.
Sure, when I do them types of calls, that we're gonna have that private so we can really.
Yeah. I don't. Like I said, I ain't saying nothing today. I'm good. Mind my own business.
I know that's right.
A message to a black man is good too, y'all.
I do have that one in my library for sure.
Okay. And the golden age of the Moor, y'all can read about that too.
I gotta get that one.
Get that one so that you can know a little bit more in depth about the Moor. And I mean, there's so many books downstairs with the Moors, and it's just so much. I can't even begin to talk about all that. It's just.
And we'll lay the foundation for future, work. And because just listening to today, like listening to you, it made me think as if, why don't we have some sort of outline or guide or something that we can use as a blueprint to kind of go from taking that baby from A to Z, in regards to the process.
Okay.
And if it does exist, I would love to find out what that is. But if it doesn't exist, I would love to be a part of putting that together so we can make it exist.
Okay. Here's the problem with that, because if it was possible, then I would have done that. But here's the problem with that. It's just me. We would have to have, okay, like I told you, I did a process. I'm done, right? What has that done for me? Other than I have to, if I come into a situation, I have to fight for that. You see what I'm saying? So if we don't go as a group united to take back what has been stolen from us, birthrights and all, because there was no birth certificate since until 1933. Okay, there was no social security card. You didn't have to have one until you started to work at 16. But now you come out the womb and they put one on you. Why? Because they're bonds. Okay.
Yep.
And all them damn bonds, like my grandmother said, the blood and streak gonna be horse to the neck. Why? Because all those bonds are coming home to roost. Okay, because we were sold as chattel property for the debt of the U.S. Period. Case closed. Case closed. We weren't supposed to be paying all this. We paying it because you say you're a U.S. citizen. There's a difference in terminology. But see, you were told to put, you're a U.S. citizen. And we can get into that deep on the private end, okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I love it.
You'll be trolled right off of YouTube, baby.
Oh, I already know. I know how they move.
Yeah, and then I'm going to send you, if anybody wants to buy Black People Are Dead in Law off the website, they can. That's a good, like I said, you see this when I tabbed it up. And always use tabs and highlighters. People just, they don't know how to read. No one taught them how to read and study.
Oh, yeah.
You have to read and study, and then have a dictionary if you don't know what a word means. And I did put a lot of, dictionary answers in here, for different words. So, they don't have to have one, but my God, just get a tool for God's sakes.
I know that's
instead of buying some, Louis Vuittons and all this other kind of stuff people be buying, buy a book.
Right.
My mother said, my grandmother always told us, and my home was always had a library. She said, a house without a library is a house without a soul. You can start with 50 books, okay? Or you can start with 25, but get them.
Yeah.
What are your kids reading?
Right.
I taught a generational wealth class in Delaware not too long ago in April. And I started with the 24-hour a day supposedly we have. And I asked, how many of you in here are parents? And I said, okay, how long do you sleep at night? 8 hours, 9 hours? I said, take that away from 24. And I said, and you get up, you go, you get your kids dressed, you get dressed, you go to work. How long it takes you to drive back and forth to work? 2 hours, 2.5, 3? Okay, take that away. Okay, you come home, your kids come home, you make them do homework for maybe 2 hours, and you eat. That's another hour, 3. Take that away. And then you tell them, take a bath and go to bed. Another hour, maybe. But when in all that time did you talk to your child? When did you talk to your children? What did you say? Good night. I see you in the morning. Yeah, that's what you did. That's why they crazy as hell. Okay, we got talked to. My mother would come in and if nothing else, she would say, hey, how was your day? Are you happy today? Anything bad happen? Anything good happen? What are you thinking about? Are you okay? Every day.
Yeah.
They never did. I said, and see, that's a problem. I stopped a group of ladies down in the basement when I was washing the dishes, cleaning up after our event. They were all there talking about these kids, all of them. And they were all sitting there talking like I would talk. Oh, God, when we were coming up, we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. Everybody was like, ding, 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 ding. So I just kindly dried my hands because I wasn't down there involved. I just said, excuse me, ladies, who raised them kids? Oh, wait. You can hear a gnat fart because
wow, I can imagine.
You can hear a gnat fart because nobody had to answer because they were just going on. Yeah, and I remember my mom used to do Wow. And I just got enough. I had enough. I was like, who raised those kids? Because see, my kids they Gen Xers. They were like me. We took care of ourselves.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, see, so I shut them down because I said, then you send them to these schools. Noble Drew Ali told us, have your own schools.
Yeah.
Yep. Black Wall Street is about to be obliterated out of the history books forever, and we still run around here. Me, want some more. Me.
Yep.
Read Wilmington's lie. You see what we had. We weren't piss poor people. These modern Europeans didn't come over here and build them plantations. They were already here. Stop it. They were already here. You can still see shit in Florida that they tried, and all over this country where they try to rebuild stuff. After the mud flood, everything changed. Folks don't even know what that is.
Look, that's something to talk about in the next one.
All right, there you go.
Wow. Now, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate you taking the time, to join us and for sure for sharing all the knowledge and all the wisdom. And I can't wait to see, the response that the audience has in regards to this information, because it's different, but I want to really give it from someone who I know really knows, because like I said, we don't.
And I think when people hear it, the intelligent people, when they hear something different, what do? They go, oh, wow. Let me go see if that's true. They go find a resource. See, that's how come I always, my audience always knew that what they were going to get. Because I tell it like it is, like it's true. You can find, I don't say anything that I can't prove. And I don't, so if I say I have something, I can prove it.
Right.
Yeah. Not to say I can use it, I can prove it. Because I use it according to what I believe. So you can't say you want to do something or be a Moor and then go and confront these people and not know what to say, not know how to act. You can't do that. And you have to know law, because if a clerk is not going to record my paperwork, well, she better know I'm giving her statute and code why she better, or she need to go get her boss immediately. Okay. Because she can't refuse me or you or anyone else, but you don't know that. They go, nah, we can't do that. Wow. And you go, that's not true. Yeah, it is true. And you don't go in there acting like a fool. You go in there with facts.
I say, I love it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's powerful.
So we'll get there. Like I said, we're picking up people, that want to do something. And like I said, I just want to get the information out there. There's going to be somebody, because there are no coincidence. We could have met 2 years ago, but we didn't.
Yeah.
You see? So it's time. The universe said, okay, for whatever reason.
Listen, I love it. I love it. And it's definitely divine alignment for sure. It's definitely divine alignment.
Like I said, and I give honors to you. I give praise to the fact that, you stuck with your ambition to start the channel. It's going to grow. Anybody that's out there that's supposed to listen in and get something, they will. And but I'm just pushing all negativity off the plate for the day. I don't like dealing in that chaos and that toxicity. So if there's anybody out there, they won't be able to put a negative comment, because the all will handle that. Okay. The karma, don't forget, no addresses, as my grandmother would say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I like that. That's what's up. I love it. I love it. No, I really do. I know the audience is gonna love it just as much as I did.
Yeah, they will.
I really appreciate it. And
it wasn't done for the love. It was done for practicality of knowing what's up on this planet, and we have got to get it together, people. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. You are a spirit being in a garb of flesh. That's it. This shit will melt away. You're gonna still exist. That's why I don't say nobody dies. I say you are transitioning.
Yep, that's real.
Okay.
Yep.
So much
God
love.
Having a human experience for sure.
Much love. That's it.
Man, I'll definitely get all the information to all the books that we spoke about today. Have them in the description. So that way you can click the link and stay tuned to the channel. I look forward to definitely getting Queen Mother Cynthia Martin L back on the show, but we'll probably be doing them private, and then I'll edit them out so I can put them on the show.
Yeah, I can really talk then. I can't.
That way we
I told you I was scared to get you taken off.
Right. Nah, listen, I wanted them to get the little sample. You know, the little samples they having them on the toothpick. Get the little sample, and then we'll bring them on back for the real meal, you know, on the private level.
Yeah, they can hang out with us, you know, a little bit. Yeah. Then they get some real good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. I really do.
All right, y'all. I love you guys so much, and thank you again. Thank you
Likewise,
so much.
we appreciate it. We definitely do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This has been another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I definitely appreciate all the love and support. Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe.
Tẹ́ntẹ́ni takisa ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe nígbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́. Forsake not your ancestors and praise your